Divya. So we are doing what shloka, Mataji? 12? 12 onwards?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Yes. So 15 to 17 is there, Prabhu, which you are covering. And yesterday's shlokas 12 to 14.
Okay. Can somebody read the translation, shloka, translation and purport, please? One person, because there are too many shlokas. One person per entire shloka per translation purport.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, pranams.
Yeah.
Sattvam harer anudhyatas tatpumsam api sammatah katam tvaya adhyam krutavan anushiksham satam vratam. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Because you are a pure devotee of the Lord is always thinking of you, and you are also recognized by all His confidential devotees. Your life is meant for exemplary behavior. I am therefore surprised. Why have you undertaken such an abominable task? Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Dhruva Maharaj was a pure devotee and was accustomed to always thinking of the Lord. Reciprocally, the Lord always thinks of these pure devotees who think of Him only 24 hours a day. As a pure devotee does not know anything beyond the Lord, so the Lord does not know anything beyond his pure devotee. Swayambhuva Manu pointed out this fact to Dhruva Maharaja. Not only are you a pure devotee, but you are recognized by all pure devotees of the Lord. You should always act in such an exemplary way that others may learn from you. Under the circumstances, it is surprising that you have killed so many faultless yakshas. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare
O
Krishna.
Ajnanatimrandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamagyam Tadati Swapatantikam Vandegam Shri Guru Shri Yuda Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagrajadam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadudam Parijana Sagitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishaka Anvitam Cha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimade Bhaktivedanta Swami Dinamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyamadi Pashyatya Deshadharine Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauratushe Namaha हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीन बंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वंचा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिंधु भयेव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपा तमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरु दीनदारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरं हरिः ओं तत्सत् So, Hare Krishna. So, we will go shloka by shloka. We'll see how much we can cover. So, I can't say, give a brief about this and talk about other shlokas, my shlokas, but I'll just go, whatever flow comes in, we'll go with that. So, in this highlighted shloka, one very wonderful point which is striking out is that the Lord always thinking of you. So, one thing is we are thinking always 24/7 about the Lord. But the Lord is also thinking about us. Similarly, when we think or not, that's a different story. But Lord always thinks about the living entity, especially pure Vaishnavas. he thinks them 24 bar 7. One time, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, you act in such a way that, uh, you know, you don't see the Lord, but the Lord sees you, because the service, the attitude in serving the Vaishnavas, if you all do that, then the Lord would automatically look at you. Sometimes we are in seva. When the temple inauguration happened, I was completely into the kitchen. Mataji also was helping, uh, Narayani Mataji. So we were in kitchen. I was not even participating. Um, Main functions I was missing. So many events were happening. Maharajas giving classes. So I was thinking, what do I do? Because this service is also important. So it's not that Krishna is not noticed. Krishna notices. It's not that just you're standing in front of him and Krishna has seen you. No, that's not only that. So when you serve the Vaishnavas, the Krishna is more pleased. So Krishna will look at you. That's more important than we are going and seeing him. Um, so similarly, here the Prabhupada emphasize on, the Lord is always seeing you. So what is the lesson we can learn from this? Let me know if you're able to see my PPT.
You
Yes,
can see
Prabhu.
Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah. So here, because the pure devotee, you are pure devotee, the Lord is always thinking about you. So there is a wonderful. So Prabhupada also quotes in Bhagavad Gita. He says that a pure devotee cannot forget the Supreme Lord for a moment, and similarly, the Supreme Lord cannot forget his pure devotee for a moment. So there is a wonderful story of Lord and Hanuman, Lord Ramchandra. So after all this war were over, he was in Hanuman stayed in Ayodhya. So he used to do services and all. So one day, Rama used to keep a diary, of names, the devotees who are thinking about him, very dear to him. So he was keeping always some diary. So Hanuman was very curious. I just want to see what is the diary Rama is keeping. Somebody is keeping important. Rama is keeping diary means that must be something important. We went and asked Lord Ram, what is that diary you're keeping? May I know what is this all about? He said, these are the list of devotees who are thinking about me all the time, 24 bar 7. So these are the topmost devotees, very dear devotees who are always thinking about me. I noted their names. So Hanuman was really happy. Oh, that's nice. So he thought, okay, my name will be there. Let me see my name is there or not, whether I'm thinking about the Lord 24 bar 7 or not. So he opened, there are so many names of his brothers and everybody is there except Hanuman name. His name was not to be found. Then he was very morose and he could not able to ask Lord Ram, what is this all about? Then Lord Ram said, why are you so depressed? What happened? He said, you have written the names of the devotees. They are always thinking about you. These are the devotees who is always thinking about you. But I am also thinking about you. But why my name is not there in this list? The Lord Ram said, I have one more diary. So this is the devotees name who are thinking about me 24 bar 7. But there is another diary where I am thinking about the devotees. I have that diary. Oh, then let me see that diary. Then in that Hanuman name was there. So the Lord, whomever he thinks, he maintains a separate diary. And the devotees who are thinking about him, he always maintains a diary. So, uh, so what is that we can learn lesson from this? What is a lesson to be learned? What is a practical application we can apply? Is that there are two shlokas I want to quote. One from Periyalvar Thiruvaimoli, another also Mukundamala, written by this Kulashekara Alvar. So we know this famous shloka, Krishna Tvadiya Pada Pankaja Panjaratra. Advaitame Vishavu Manasa Rajahamsaha Prana Prayana Samaye Kapavata Pittahi Kantorvaradana Vidau Smaranam Kutaste. Mukunda Mala Kulashekara was telling Krishna Todiya Pada Pankaja Pancharatram. How this swan is playing in the stem of lotus and it is entangled. Uh, Rajahamsaha. So let me entangled in your thinking now. Prana prayana samye. When my prana, my life air leaves to the end, that time my Kanta will be choked with kapha, vata, pitta. I will not be able to utter your name. Smaranam kutaste. How do I remember you, Lord? At the time of death, I can't remember you. I will be choked, mucus and piles, everything will come. My eyes will come out. It will be biting so much scorpion. So how do I remember? So he says, I will remember you now. What he's saying is, now I will do my sadhana properly. It's up to you. At the time of death, you remember me. I will not be able to remember 100%. So this is Alvar, who is a pure Vaishnavas. They are the Nitya Siddhas of the Lord. They are telling they will not be able to remember the Lord at the time of death. So what to speak of us? Many a times devotees get accident. His Holiness Tamal Krishna Maharaj and many other devotees you would have seen. Suddenly they will meet with an accident. Then the question arises, oh, they did not remember the Lord at the time of death. Does that mean they will not go back to Godhead? No. For pure Vaishnavas, they don't need to remember. The Lord will make sure He remembers them. That is what important. We remember or not, we don't know. It is not in our hand. And Acharya says it is not in our hand. And they are so putting humbly that they can remember always, but they are themselves telling we can't remember. There is one more wonderful verse, which is in Tamil, but I'm not able to translate it. I can translate it, but I just picked up as it is because I didn't have the English version. So this is Periyalvar, who's singing in Thiruvaimudi. Uh, uh, so, ஏய்ப்பு என்னை வந்து நலியும்போ, ஏய்ப்பு means the death which comes, approaches me, I will not be able to remember you. But அப்போதைக்கு இப்போதை சொல்லி வைத்தேன் அரங்கத்து அரவணை பள்ளியானே means at that time I will not be able to remember my time of death, but I will chant my rounds now properly. It is your responsibility, Ranganatha. You have to take me back, because don't tell me that in Bhagavad Gita you told yam yam vape smaran mavam tajanti ante kalevaram tam tam evati kaunteya sada bhatpava bhavitaha. Whatever you think you will become at the time of death, I have not thought about you. And you don't tell me that you can't come to me. I don't do all this magic and all you can't put to me. I know the Acharya is telling you might have spoken that Antakalecha Mam Smarana Mukteva Kalevaram. These slokas are fine in Bhagavad Gita. I know that I will not be able to remember. Why are you telling me to remember at the time of death? Kulashekara is still my mucus and everything will be choked my throat. This is scientifically proven. This is what would happen at the time of death. What do you think? How do I remember you? And you're telling in Bhagavad Gita, you remember me at the time of death? Don't, all this cheating is will not happen. But I am telling you, I am chanting now. You write it down, note it down. Then at the time of death, it is your responsibility to remember me. So when Acharya says that when Lord is thinking about you, when you would think about you? When do you think that Lord would think about you?
When you think about him.
That is one thing that many devotees think about him. I also go and stand in front of him. I don't do any service. I just stand in front of him. Lord, I'm thinking 24/7.
When you do
When you do
the service to the
service,
Lord without deviation,
when the others are
always
pleased by our service, Prabhuji.
When we serve the devotees,
What
Prabhu.
service?
When we serve the devotees.
Any
What is
Whatever
that?
they
any
please,
seva, whatever.
in
What
every way.
Vaishnava Sevas will do?
Prabhuji, when we are sincere
For
and
them, invite them
pleased
at
with
home, do kirtan with them,
Not
associate with
hurt
them.
them, Prabhuji, first of all. Not hurt their feelings, and in whichever way possible, we should help them.
Okay. What else will be Lord pleased so that he will come and see you?
Vani, Prabhu.
We give them
If we do our sadhana correctly, follow the orders, like even if there is little inconvenience, we can go on distribution.
Serve the spiritual master.
If
And also
we help them to progress
follow,
and bhakti, he will be more pleased, Prabhuji.
Sorry,
follow
what was
spiritual
that?
masters.
What was that, Mataji?
Instructions.
Sorry, I missed it. What was the last one who spoke? What pleasing?
If we help them to please progress in bhakti, he will be more pleased, Prabhuji.
To help whom?
To help the devotees as well as non-devotees, everybody.
Okay.
We also must follow the instruction of the spiritual master, Prabhuji.
Okay. Okay.
Bhagavad
So-
Gita Krishna says, no, Prabhuji, he is more favorite to me, one who preaches my about me. So anybody who preaches about him, he becomes most
Preaching and also bring
favorite.
devotees to Krishna. Bring also them to Krishna consciousness.
So here, Swayambhu Manu telling Dhruva Maharaj, see, you are pure devotee, for, and Lord is always thinking about you. He has given so much planet, and you're just going and killing for a small brother. You've been killed. One yaksha is was to be punished, but you're killing the entire yakshas. What is this? That's the context, right? So here, what is the practical application? It is not important. We see the Lord. More than that, yes, that is important. You can go and appreciate the beautiful Lord form. You can behold, but more than that, Prabhupada said there is one devotee always comes in front of Prabhupada when he goes for walking, he'll come and stand. Wherever Prabhupada goes, he'll come and stand. One day Prabhupada said, no, why are you coming just in front of me all the time? Go and do some practical devotional service. So the answer to it is that practical devotional service important. Whatever you told mention is all practical devotional service. So rendering some devotional service. Bhakti means Prabhupada never said it is devotion. He said devotional service. He never would have seen anywhere. Sanskrit version Bhakti means devotion. But Prabhupada never translated as a devotion. He's always a devotional service, nectar of devotion service, nectar of devotion. So in that devotion, when Sanskrit meaning, Prabhupada always said that it's devotional service. Bhakti means devotional service, rendering some practical devotional service. That's where the Lord will look at you rather than you're going and look at it. Of course, that has a benefit, but more than that, you should not be worried. Okay, I'm not in the limelight. I'm not able to do that seva. If I do only seva in front of the Lord, it is only that is a seva. Others are not seva. Not like that. Lord will look at you more than the people who are doing other services which are just only visible for doing name and fame. It is not that Lord is going to appreciate. So the genuinely serving Vaishnavas and other things, whatever you try to do. So that's where Lord will come and see you. That's more important than we are going and seeing the Lord. Okay, text number 13. Who can read?
Hare Krishna. Barnali Mataji, you can read the shloka translation and purport. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you, Mataji. Titikshasa karunaya maitra chakhila jantusu samadvena cha sarvatma bhagavatam samprasidati. Translation: the Lord is very satisfied with his devotee when the devotee greets the other people with tolerance, mercy, friendship, and equality. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. It is the duty of an advanced devotee in the second stage of devotional perfection to act in accordance with this verse. There are three stages of devotional life. In the lowest stage, a devotee is simply concerned with the deity and in the temple, and he worships the Lord with great devotion according to rules and regulations. In the second stage, the devotee is cognizant of his relationship with the Lord, his relationship with fellow devotees, his relationship with persons who are innocent, and his relationship with persons who are envious. Sometimes devotees are ill-treated by envious persons. It is advised that an advanced devotee should be tolerant. He should show complete mercy to persons who are ignorant and innocent. A preacher devotee is meant to show mercy to innocent persons whom he can elevate to devotional service. Everyone by constitutional position is an eternal servant of God. Therefore, a devotee's business is to awaken everyone's Krishna consciousness. That is his mercy. As for a devotee's treatment of other devotees who are his equals, he should maintain friendship with them. His general view should be to see every living entity as part of the Supreme Lord. Different living entities appear in different forms of dress, but according to the instructions of the Bhagavad Gita, a learned person sees all living entities equally. Such treatment by the devotees is very much appreciated by Supreme Lord. It is therefore said that a saintly person is always tolerant and merciful. He is a friend to everyone, never an enemy to anyone, and he is peaceful. These are some of the good qualities of a devotee. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Dandavat
Thank
Pranam.
you.
Thank
So
you.
this is another argument he puts across to Dhruva. Dhruva, you are a top class devotee, and you should treat with them the friendship, mercy. Why are you doing it? So Prabhupada taken that opportunity to explain three stages of devotion life. What are these three? What are
Kanishta
the
Adhikari,
Ishta,
Madhyama Adhikari,
Madhyama,
Uttama Adhikari.
Uttam.
Okay, what is Kanishta Adhikari?
Who see the Lord only in the temple and the deities, Prabhuji.
Respects the Lord, but does not give respect to the devotee.
Okay. So what is the Madhyama Adhikari does?
Madhyama Adhikari, he has read the scriptures, he gives respect to everyone, and he sees his superior and gives respect, and he treats, he is compassionate to the innocent, and he gives respect to his equals also. And he is not having the capacity to argue, though he reads the scriptures.
Is that a
He
Kanishta
also
Adhikari or Madhyama Adhikari?
Madhyama Adhikari, I'm saying, Prabhu. Kanishta is one who goes to the temple and worships a deity, but he does not give respect to the devotees.
I'm not sure why Madhyama Adhikari is not able to
Four
argue.
types of relations he keeps, Prabhuji. When with the neophytes, he will have compassion, and with the deity, he will be having love, and towards the same kind of devotees who are on the same level, he has a friendly. He will be in friendly terms, and when he
He's
sees
also
the senior Vaishnavas, he pays obeisances. Hare Krishna.
he's also very
Where is
tolerant.
Where is that shloka in Bhagavatam?
It's there, Prabhuji, in that.
Hare Krishna.
Ishwari
No, no, one second. So Mataji, you told very wonderful. Where is that shloka?
11.2.42 Prabhuji.
Yeah.
ईश्वरे तददिनेषु बालिशेषु द्विषत्सु च प्रेमा मैत्री कृपा उपेक्षा यः करोति स मध्यमः.
Yes, excellent. Eleven.
11.2.42 Prabhuji. (46) Prabhuji. 11.2.46 ईश्वरे तददिनेषु.
Yeah. So today homework is that go and read shloka number 46, 47, and 40, 46, 47, and 48. So 46 talks about the Madhyamatikari. Kanishtatikari is spoken in 11.2.47 and Uttamatikari is spoken in 11.2.48. Okay, so this is the homework. Please go and read this purport. Then you will know. So Madhyamatikari, as you said, he keeps four things: prema, maitri, kripa, upeksha. Prema to the Lord, maitri, friendship to the devotees who are following him, kripa to those non-devotees. Compassionate kripa means compassionate, showing that preaching, helping in preaching, bringing up. That upeksha means ignoring. Why is to ignore? If there are people envious, we also say one of the holy name aparadha, right? Preaching to a person who is faithless person about the glories of the holy name. So somebody is envious, that we upeksha means we ignore. He doesn't disrespect, but he just ignores him because it is too much of a materialist association also really bad for him. So he just ignores him. So he creates the four kind of stuff, right? One, prema to the Lord. Maitri means friendship to the fellow devotees. Kripa means to those neophyte or those non-devotees, compassionate to preach. Upeksha means ignoring them, those who neglecting him, those who are envious. These are the activities of Madhyamadhikari does. Uttamadhikari is a person who never differentiates between anything. Uttamadhikari most of the time doesn't preach. Why? Because he sees everything is the same. he doesn't differentiate anything. So where is the question of preaching? Only the Madhyamadikari preaches because he follows that kripa, mercy to the. He differentiates people. Okay, he is a friend of Vaishnavas. He is worshipping the Lord, so let me friendship with them. The person who is not in Krishna conscious, let me help. But Uttamaka Adhikari does not even differentiate. So it is animal or human, everything is for him, it's the same. He doesn't differentiate. So that's why he doesn't come to the platform of preaching. Then you might say, Prabhupada preached. Is Prabhupada is Uttamadhikari or a Madhyamadhikari? Did Prabhupada preach or not? Then Uttamadhikari doesn't preach, I'm telling. He doesn't differentiate.
He came to the level of
Now,
Madhyama and then preached, Prabhuji.
okay, any other answer? Yes, does not mean that Uttamadhikari, he doesn't differentiate. He is definitely a pure Vaishnava. But in order to, you know, preach his mission, because his assignment is to write books and preach, so he came to that level and preached. Otherwise, Prabhupada doesn't differentiate. eh? So that way, the Acharyas say that at least what is the level we should come here? What is that Prabhupada says? What is his recommendation? At least what level we should come out of these three levels?
Madhyama, Prabhuji.
Kanishta to Madhyama.
Yeah, the duty of an advanced devotee in the second stage of devotional perfection, according to this verse. What is that? Which is showing the four things: respect to the Lord, love to the Lord. Maitri means friendship to the devotees. Then compassionate. So we don't preach. All the four needs to be there. It's not that one aspect I do. I love the Lord. I don't bother about. That's what Kanishtatikari does. Madhyamadikari, at least he recognized the worship. So Shiva says, out of all worship, Vishnu's worship is better. Tadiyadharana means the paraphernalia. Paraphernalia includes the devotees, worshipping the devotees, serving the devotees. That is the topmost worship ever you have. That's what she tells to Parvati and Lord Shiva. So that way, it is very important to recognize the devotees, Sarudam Maitreya. Then Upeksha is also important, preaching to the non-devotees. That is very, very important. Also, away from the satsang of the, too much materialistic people or envious people, that is Upeksha. So you also ignore them, neglect them, right? So that's how the prescription is given. So any questions on this? Or any other points you want to add before I move on to the next shloka?
Prabhuji, the spiritual master, he is also Uttam Adhikari, no? They are pure devotees, but they are preaching. Can you explain that, Prabhuji?
Yes. Like Prabhupada, they also come to the Madhyama level to act and preach. Otherwise, their purpose is, Krishna requested them to go and preach. So they came on a mission to preach because Krishna has requested, Prabhupada has requested. So these are the eternal associates. Prabhupada always said these are the external eternal associates, and my Guru Maharaj had said. Sometimes you might think why they are born in the Americas, UKs, and other countries, these acharyas now, Prabhupada disciples. If everybody is born in India, he has to take everyone to different places to preach. So the Lord arranged them to take birth in different places. And time is Prabhupada asked His Holiness Jayapatka Maharaj, no, you are the eternal associates of the Lord, and you will preach, you will learn Bengali, and you will preach in India. Then he said, me, Jayapatka Maharaj, sort of, he was feeling humble. Then he said, are you talking about me, Prabhupada? I'm not that great. Then he said, never ever doubt the spiritual master's word. Then he kept quiet. And which has happened after that. So right after his initiation, this all happened. So, and what does that mean is that the Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, then he said, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur sent all of you. He said, tell me, what is your name? He said, Gordhan, something related to that. He said, Gordon Dan or something like that. Then he said, it's Gordhan. Gaur means Gaura Prema. Dan, giving a love of God, Prema. So that's why your name you are like that. So like that, many instances Prabhupada told these are the eternal associate, but to preach us, he is bringing it. So it was Krishna's request. Prabhupada said, I will not go, Krishna. I don't want to go to materialistic people and preach this. But Krishna has requested. He said, just go and write books. Rest of things I'll take care. That's why most of the time you see Prabhupada never left writing books. Come whatever, he never stopped writing books. But other things have happened. Coming, building a temple, it just happened. Coming Vaishnava who are assisting him in the preaching. There's just people came and they took it up and they went UK. These three families, Grahasthas, then they established UK Yatra. Germany somebody went. China somebody went. So they all came different places and Prabhupada just traveled around and wrote the books. That's all he did. And remaining Krishna's taken care. That's because Krishna told, please go and preach. Because either he would come millennium after millennium on different avatars, still people don't be attracted. So he says, let me send my acharyas or my senior bhaktas to preach. So Prabhupada obliged. So Krishna is requesting what to do. If Krishna is telling you, you will not say, I will not do, right? So like that, those devotees come. So their main purpose to preach. If they in Uttamatikari platform, no, I am Uttamatikari. I am an Uttamatikari platform. Means the mission is to preach. Mahaprabhu came in the mode of preaching. He knows he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He would have done a different avatar than compared to Krishna, right? Like Krishna, he would have done a lot of superhuman activities, but Mahaprabhu did not even do. Many people even not knowing him is a Supreme Personality of Godhead, including Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, right? So unless the Lord reveals to them that he is Supreme Personality, no one knew. They thought he is ordinary person, ordinary sannyasi, right? He is Lord himself. He knew. He has showed many a times his Sadrbhuja form and other things. But the Lord came in the mood, what is my purpose? So I have to preach, do this Harinam Sankirtan, let me do that. So when they come for a assignment, particular assignment, then they do it and go. It does not mean that they are in Mathematikari platform. The purpose of their assignment is to go and preach. So then they will act like that. But they always on the Uttamatikari platform.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
It is for our benefit. And we are not making use of it. We are not taking their association. We are not hearing regularly their classes. We are not, whenever they come nearby, we are not going and taking that physical Vani Vapu association. So it is very sad if we don't do that, or we don't anchor for it, we don't dream of it, we don't cry for their association. This is such a pure Vaishnavas, they are here, they're living with us. How many of us would be, interested to do everything go and serve? We can't do it, of course. But whenever they come, at least taking their association or regularly hearing Vani Seva, because association means it's Vani and Vapu both. Vani is very important. Regularly hearing our Guru's lectures, it's very, very important. That's how you are in the second level, because you want to become second level, then you need to associate it with the first level, so that at least you'll learn something, right? Then that's through association of hearing Vani Seva, definitely you will come up to the second level, because they talk about preaching. They'll say how you can preach, how they're preaching, then you will motivated to become second level, respect the Vaishnavas. They from the Vani you understand how they respect their God brothers and other devotee care, how they are doing it. So you will try to become second level. That's only by doing Vani Seva of those pure Vaishnavas. Okay, now the next shloka.
Hare Krishna, Vasudha Mataji, you can read the shloka translation and purport. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभुजी धन्यवाद प्रणाम संप्रसन्ने भगवती पुरुष प्राकृतैर्गुणैः विमुक्तो जीवनिर्मुक्तो ब्रह्म निर्वाणं मृच्छति Translation Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. One who actually satisfies the Supreme Personality of Godhead during one's lifetime becomes liberated from the gross and subtle material conditions. Thus, being freed from all material modes of nature, he achieves unlimited spiritual bliss. Purport Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. In the previous verse, it has been explained that one should treat all living entities with tolerance, mercy, friendship, and equality. By such behavior, one satisfies the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and upon his satisfaction, the devotee immediately becomes free from all material conditions. The Lord also confirms this in Bhagavad Gita. Anyone who sincerely and seriously engages in my service immediately becomes situated in the transcendental stage wherein he can enjoy unlimited spiritual bliss. Everyone in this material world is struggling hard in order to achieve blissful life. Unfortunately, people do not know how to achieve it. Atheists do not believe in God, and certainly they do not please Him. Here it is clearly here it is clearly said that upon pleasing the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one immediately attains to the spiritual platform and enjoys unlimited blissful life. To become free from material existence means to become free from the influence of material nature. Hare
Thank you.
Krishna. Thank you very much, Prabhuji.
How many of you attended my last session? Can you remember what is the topic theme I spoke?
Vaishnava Association, Prabhuji.
No.
Sincerity.
Association.
Sincerity. Sincerity.
Then complete the sentence. Sincerity.
If you be sincere, then the Lord will, means like, as Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur says, don't try to see the Lord. You do your work and you do your sadhana so that the Lord will see you. That is the meaning of sincerity. That's what I felt that you conveyed, Prabhu. Sorry, you can wrong.
No. Yeah. What is the other one? I don't know. Yeah, let me check.
Sincerity means austerity, Prabhu, without duplicity. And also, you have discussed so many things regarding sincerity, Prabhu. Pray to do japa properly, sincerely. Lord
Right.
will
Talk
give
about. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, Prabhu. This is Hare Krishna.
We talked about
Intelligence.
sincerity attracts grace. How Dhruva Maharaj's sincerity, and we saw some examples. In that also, I said it is the transcendental stage. Anyone engaged in my service immediately situated in the transcendental stage, right? So the same thing it has come here. See, who is sincerely
Hare
and
Krishna.
seriously engages in my service immediately becomes situated in the transcendental stage. This is the reference last time I was talking transcendental stage. This is the reference I've used from Prabhupada purport. I'm just connecting. I just remembered it. Yeah, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Sorry to interrupt. What do you mean by sincerity? Sincerity is,
You have to see
is that
my
not
previous class.
determination?
Yes, you have to see my previous class. Recording is available. If I take again, it will be repetition of last class.
No. I'm just
We
asking
discussed.
sincerity
We
and
discussed.
determination.
Yeah,
Okay.
sincerity we discussed. So you have to. Is both are different, but obviously it is interrelated. Your sincerity helps to do the determination, but both are different aspect. Both are not same. To give you a short answer. So let's finish off this. I will, if I time permits, I will take up your question. Remind me because I have hard stop at 11:25. So we are already 10:15. So I have 10-15 minutes to cover up whatever shlokas. So I apologize. So in this one, Manu is telling, okay, what if Madhyamatikari? The benefit of becoming Madhyamatikari is that not only you behave like that, but it satisfies the Lord, then immediately you are situated in the transcendental bliss, the spiritual bliss. So why you have to become Madhyamatikari? Then you will have the transcendental bliss. That's the reason you should, he said you are to become. So, right, the 14th shloka. Right. One who actually satisfies the Supreme Personality of Godhead during one's lifetime becomes liberated from the gross and subtle material conditions. We all know that there are three categories of persons. One is karmi, who try to satisfy themselves by sense gratification. So he wants to achieve something. So it is selfish. Jnani is one who is trying to subtle activities or mental speculation, right? Thinking themselves. It's more of a subtle enjoyment he's doing. Yogis, satisfy themselves saying, I'll get so much Shakti, mystic powers. But devotee is the only person who try to satisfy the Lord. So becoming Mathimatika remains the Lord is pleased. So we are not worried about our pleasure, either karmis, jhanis, like yogis. They are having some sort of selfishness. Anyabhilashita shunyam, jnana karmadi anavritam, anukulena krishna anusilanam, bhakti ruttama. So bhakti means he is acting for the pleasure of the Lord. One who is acting pleasure of the Lord, then he is a devotee. Then automatically Krishna gives this transcendental, unlimited bliss. If you are having some motive and try to do bhakti, then it is not a pure bhakti. So the aesthetics without self-knowledge is imperfect. So empiric knowledge without surrendering is imperfect. So karma yoga without KC is waste of time. So even these three karmis, jhanis, yogis, they want to become perfect. Then some amount of bhakti is required. On karma yoga on its own doesn't give anything. Jnana yoga on its own doesn't give any benefit. Yoga process on its own, Ashtanga yoga on its own doesn't have any benefit unless there is tinge of bhakti is there. Then it is Mishra Bhakti, Karma Mishra Bhakti, Jnana Mishra Bhakti, right? But so if it is a pure devotional service, as Bhakti Rasamrita Siddhu mentions, for the pleasure of the Lord, then Krishna awards them immediately. That's the reason why he is on the transcendental platform, why he is getting satisfied. That's what in this verse talks about. So let us start today's class 15. Shloka number 15. Can we go quickly? I have 10 minutes to go.
Hare Krishna, Chandana Mataji, you can read the shloka translation and purport. Hare Krishna.
Yes,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna, Chandana Mataji.
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna. भूतै पञ्चाभिर् आरब्धैर् योषित् पुरुष एव हि तयोर्व्यवाया सम्भूतिर्योषित् पुरुषयोरिह. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The creation of the material world begins with the 5 elements, and thus everything, including the body of a man or a woman, is created by these elements. By the sexual life of man and woman, the number of men and women in this material world is further increased.
Thank you, Mataji. Purport you can read at home because we are running out of time. So in this, what is that lesson to be learned? That entire this creation is made of Panchabhuta. This is body, just body. Deginosmi nada kaumaram yabanam chara tada dehantra prapti rastatra namukyati. So Dhira, who doesn't bothered about just death of this body, it is a soul. It is never killed. It's never killed. So it was created by the Lord. Why are you, same Bhagavad Gita, whatever it talks about. So Swayambhu is explaining to Durva, you know this. You are not this body. So your brother is died. Of course, it's very sad, but he's just a body. You will take rebirth again. The soul cannot be killed. Why are you taking so much revenge for that? So what is that lesson to be learned in this one is that I am spirit soul in the material body versus my material body has a spirit soul. Most of the time we think that in my body spirit soul is there. That is difference between I'm a spirit soul within this material body. That is very important. Most of the time what happens is, yeah, we know what we are a spiritual, we are Atma, but we mainly identify with the body. In the body there is Atma is there. That's what we see. That is there when always we'll identify, oh, that devotee spoke to me like this. Oh, this devotee, spoke harshly. This devotee did not allow me to do that. That's because I'm thinking I'm this body. In this body, the soul is living. But if you think that other way around, I'm a spiritual body temporarily in this. It's okay. In this body, this something happens. I'm not worried. I'm more concerned about doing seva for the Lord because I'm a spirit soul. It does not matter. So we try to overcome that and we try to ignore and proceed further. If you are thinking I am the material body but spirit soul is inside, oh, how can he offend me? I am a great Vaishnava. I've been practicing for many years. I've done so much sevas. How can he ignore that? Then you are thinking your body. In this body, there's a spirit soul. Rather than, if you think I'm a spirit soul in this body, okay, this lifetime I have, this is what my karma is all about. So let it happen. Krishna has some better plan for me. Then we try to overcome. So that is one lesson we can learn from this. 16.
Hare Krishna. Kripamai Mataji, you can read the shloka and translation. Hare Krishna.
Audible, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji. Yes,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna. एवं प्रावर्तते सर्गा स्थिति संयम एव च गुणा वैतीकृत राजन् मायाय परमात्मना. Hare Krishna. Translation by Prabhupada ki jai. Manu continued, my dear King Durva, it is simply by the illusory material energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and by the interaction of the three material nature that creation, maintenance, and annihilation takes place.
Okay,
Thank you, Mother.
here we can stop here. So he's talking about creation, the action of Rajoguna, Tamoguna. And he is talking about the modes of material nature, right? In this Prabhupada, in this purport. So here Prabhupada talks about creation is in the mode of Rajoguna, maintenance is the act of Sattva-guna, and annihilation is in the mode of Tamoguna. So those who person who was in the Sattva-guna, they live for longer. So this is another reason devotees, like, if you want to have a good health or you will live long, then it is in the mode of goodness always better. Of course, you were to take birth again, mode of Suddha Sattva, then you go beyond this transcendental go to the material world, to the transcendental platform, being always in Krishna consciousness. We also see that while creation happens, right? The Lord Karnodaksha Vishnu, he glances, then he injects into the Pradhana Kala, Karma, and Swabha. Kala means the time, Karma means the previous karmas, whatever we had. Swabhava means our desires. So along with Jiva, he impregnates this Pradhan. That Pradhan becomes Mahatattva. So this Mahatattva is predominated by modes of material nature. That's where the modes of material nature is activated. So and if it is predominantly in the mode of Sattva, then the 10 sense, mind, and the devatas for each one, eyes for eyes, example, Surya is the in charge. Like that. So every parts of the senses, there is one devata who are created in the mode of goodness. When this Mahatattva predominated by the mode of Rajas, that's where prana, the life layer, intelligence, and the 10 senses are comes out. And when the tamas was predominated by the Mahatattva, that's the time 5 grass elements, panchabhutas, right? 5 sense objects, eyes, nose, ears, that is been created. So from this we understand that it is the Lord one who maintains and creates because of this Rajaguna. And you are a pure devotee. Why are you be in this mode to kill this unnecessarily extra? So that's what Swayambhu is talking. And today's last shloka, and you read this purport. I don't know I'll be able to cover, but let's see quickly. Somebody can read it.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji Pranam. Nimittamatram tatrasi nirguna purusharshava vyaktamidam vishwam yatra brahmati lohavat. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. My dear Dhruva, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is uncontaminated by the material modes of nature. He is the remote cause of the creation of this material cosmic manifestation. When he gives the impetus, many other causes and effects are produced, and thus the whole universe moves, just as iron moves by the integrated force of a magnet. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
No, read the purport.
Okay, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada ki jai. How the external energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead works within this material world is explained in this verse. Everything is happening by the energy of the Supreme Lord. The atheistic philosophers who do not agree to accept the Supreme Personality of Godhead as the original cause of creation think that the material world moves by the action and reaction of different material elements. A simple example of the interaction of elements occurs when we mix soda and acid and the movement of effervescence is produced. But one cannot produce life by such interaction of chemicals. There are 84 lakh different species of life with different wishes and different actions. How the material force is working cannot be explained just on the basis of chemical reaction. The suitable example in this connection is that of the potter and the potter's wheel. The potter's wheel rotates and several varieties of earthen pots come out. There are many causes for the earthen pots, but the original cause is the potter who sets a force on the wheel. That force comes by his superintendence. The same idea is explained in Bhagavad Gita. Behind all material action and reaction, there is Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Krishna says that everything depends on his energy, and yet he is not everywhere. The pot is produced under certain conditions of action and reaction of material energy, but the potter is not in the pot. In a similar way, the material creation is set up by the Lord, but he remains aloof. As stated in the Vedas, he simply glanced over it, and the agitation of matter immediately began. In Bhagavad Gita, it is also said that the Lord impregnates the material energy with the part and parcel jivas, and thus the different forms and different activities immediately ensue. Because of the different desires and karmic activities of the jiva soul, different types of bodies in different species are produced. In Darwin's theory, there is no acceptance of the living entity as a spirit soul, and therefore his explanation of evolution is incomplete. Varieties of phenomena occur within this universe on account of the actions and reactions of the three material modes, but the original creator or the cause is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is mentioned here as Nimitta Matram, the remote cause. He simply pushes the wheel with his energy. According to the Mayavadi philosophers, the Supreme Brahman has transformed himself into many varieties of forms, but that is not the fact. He is always transcendental to the actions and reactions of the material gunas, although he is the cause of all causes. Lord Brahma says, therefore, in the Brahma Samhita 5.1, Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarvakarana Karanam. There are many causes and effects, but the original cause is Sri Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
So this is a wonderful verse, and it requires another 1 hour to explain. This I did one session for the same ICF group, but it was for the Brahma Samhita. And here Prabhupada talks about the potter, Nimitta Karana, Upadana Karana, remote cause. So these are advanced topics or highly difficult topics to understand, even though the Acharya has explained through the example of potter and potter wheel. I did this session. Luckily, I don't have my office call. So Krishna is willing, I will extend it for another 5-10 minutes. Otherwise, I was supposed to stop here. I'll try to attempt myself to explain that. So let me know if you are able to follow. But again, it will be very limited because we don't have time to completely dwell this, because this is wonderful purport and it takes about at least 1 hour to explain. So when here Prabhupada talks about various causes, basically Ishvara Paramakrishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadi Radhir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. This Sarva Karana Karanam, there are various causes. If you search Prabhupada, then Prabhupada would talk about Nimitta Karana or efficient cause. He would talk about Upadana Karana or material cause. Then Adhisthana Karana, he would talk about formal cause, he would talk about remote cause, he would talk about immediate cause. So it will be too much to, it's very difficult to understand this concepts, right? So Prabhupada, what he was trying to do in this purport is that he gives a simple analogy. Let's say you see a matka or a pot, right? So then immediately what do you think? How this is created? What do you think? So you think that immediately, oh, this pot is made of clay or mud. So what is the ingredient through which the pot was made? What the made? Mud, right? So the mud is using this mud, this pot was made. So the pot is the effect. It has come into existence. What is the cause? What is caused the pot to come in this material world? Then that is the main reason is the mud. Unless the mud is there, the pot cannot come. So the cause is the pot. Then see, the effect is the pot. What is caused the pot to come? It is mud. So there could be in this cause and effect. So far good. So cause is the mud through which the pot is made. That is the effect. This cause and effect can be direct or indirect. Direct means anvaya. Vatireka is indirect. I will come to that, this direct, indirect on the other example, but you so far understand that there is a cause and effect. The cause can be direct um, and indirect also it is there. It is indirect means, direct means whenever you see the pot, first thing is, yeah, it is made of clay. I know it is, this is the main ingredients is mud. So that's a direct you are able to connect. But if you see the mud, there is in the lump of mud is there in the street, you will not say this is pot. What you say, this is mud only, you will think. But there is the mud has a potential to be made as a pot. If somebody potter comes and he makes that mud as a pot, it can become potentially pot. But we never identify a mud with a pot. But always we identify a pot with a mud because we know that, oh, this is matka, this is made of mud. Immediately you know, this pot is made of matka. That's a direct cause you can see. But if you see the mud, you'll never say this is a pot. So that's indirect cause and effect. So the mud, same mud, can be also made into many things, and this also can become potentially a part. So that's indirect, but we can't see them. So similarly, there is a cause and effect. Effect is the pot, cause is the mud. It can be direct or indirect, right? So the mud, whatever the indirect or direct cause, the upadana is the main material cause, is this mud. That is the upadana or material karana. Prabhupada says that upadana. Okay. The second aspect is there is a potter. The mud on its own doesn't become pot. So somebody potter has to come. He has to wheel it. He has to make a shape. He has to dry it. He has to do to become effect that. So, but the potter is there, but there is no mud. Can he make a pot?
No, Prabhuji.
So, is a nimitta means is instrument, is efficient cause. So upadana or material cause is the actual ingredients which are required to make the pot. But on its own, it does not happen. You need somebody to do it. It's a nimitta. Potter is called a nimitta karana or efficient cause who creates this pot. So far, so good. Any clarification? Anybody is not understood anything on this?
So Prabhu, I just want to confirm what I understood. So please correct me. So what you said in this is the efficient cause is the potter, the person, right?
Yes.
And the effect is the pot, and causes the mud. That's what you said, right?
The mud is the upadana or material karana. Upadana karana. So Prabhupada would have talked about here in the shloka. So another reference is that you can read from Antele Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adilila, chapter 6, text number 14 onwards, the entire chapter, especially text number 2 shlokas above and 2 shlokas below, 6.14. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adilila, 6th chapter, shloka number 14 is the main. Here also Prabhupada has taken some of these experts from there, and whatever he's writing here, that's also explained, the nimitta matram, he then potter, then the material cause, right? So there are two causes. There are two types of causes. The material which is causing the pot immediately, that's called upadana. Upadana means main upadana or material karana, basically you say. Then nimitta is efficient cause, is how it is made. Somebody is making the pot is called nimitta karana, and the material ingredients itself, it's called upadana karana. These are two karanas. When you say Ishvara Paramakrishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadi Ranadir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. Sarva Karana means here for the potter, there's a different causes there. So Upatana Karana is different. The potter nimitta is different karna. But in terms of this material universe, Krishna is the Upadana Karna, is the formal cause, is the remote cause, is the remediate cause, is the Nimitta cause, is the Adhisthana cause. See, Sarva Karana Karanam, that we will come to that. But you understand from this example of water, what Prabhupada gives, there are two Karanas. One is that Upadana, which is using the ingredients, the part is manifested. But on its own, it doesn't manifest. You need a partner who is the Nimitta Karana. Is it clear? So any effect to come, there needs to be two karanas. One is upadana, another one is nimitta. Without these two karanas, nothing will manifest. Okay?
Yes, Prabhu.
Now,
And the last one you said Adhisthana Karana means?
I'll come. I've not even touched. I'm still standing on, explaining upadana and nimitta. So this analogy, Prabhupada explains the concept of creation. So say Prabhupada is very scientific and is mixing soda and acid and the movement of to be honest, I need to be a physics student to understand this. I really don't know what it is. So I need to spend time. This one amazing Prabhupada is actually. His purports are like, Prabhupada said one purport, it will take one day to understand. So this really, somebody is here expert, please uh, post it. What is that Prabhupada is talking about? So in a sense, Prabhupada is given this pointer example to make you understand how this material universe is created. So there is Parameshwara and there's the material world. We see these universes coming out of Vishnu's spore, right? That's what we see. So everything comes out of Vishnu's spore. We see. So when you see the Anda, we know that comes from Mahavishnu, right? So or Parameshwara or Ishvara, whomever you called, or Mahavishnu. That Mahavishnu here it is but Upadana Karna because from his spore it comes out. When we see the universe as a devotee, don't look at from the non-devotee perspective. But when the devotee knows it's everything came from where it originally came from, Mahavishnu's spore, because we are all in the Mahavishnu's womb and his stomach. So everything is there, unmanifested form. Then he glances through and the glance is nothing but technically Shambhu. Then it manifests into, he glances the Pradhan. Then Pradhan, he infuses with Kala, Karma and Svabha and the Jiva. The Jiva, Kala, Karma and Svabhava is put into the Pradhan. Then he glances through, then it becomes Mahatattva, manifest. Mahatattva in modes of material nature, when the time factor comes, then our sense objects, sense devatas, everything manifest. So we all know that the entire universe is coming out of Mahavishnu. He only gives everything. Kala, Karma, Swabha, the Jivatma, everything comes from the Lord Parameshwara. The material world is there. We know that. What is the Upadana Karna? It is Lord or Parameshwara. Is that clear?
Sorry, Prabhu, lastly, what you said, Upadana Karana?
The Lord, Parameshwara is the Upadana Karna.
Okay. So, which means that everything is coming from the Lord, so that's why he is the Upadana Karana.
Yeah, you tell me
Okay.
the creation process,
Yeah.
what happens. Garbhadaksha, Karnadaksha Vishnu, he looks at the Pradhana. In that he infuses Kala, Karma and Svabha, right? Then it becomes Mahatattva. Mahatattva, the modes are agitated. That's where these senses are coming. From senses, sense objects are coming. Then, the living entities are coming. So, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, then Karnadakshaya Vishnu, he creates the Mahatattva. Some portion of Mahatattva, the Garbhodakshaya Vishnu he enters into different universes. Then the creation happens. So who is created this universe then? There is anyone else is created? Who is giving this karma, kalas, bhava, and the jivas, where it is coming from?
So then
Mahavishnu.
in that case, sorry to interrupt, Prabhu. So in that case, then the Lord is as it is said in the Brahma Samhita, was the cause of all causes.
Yeah, that causes also, there are 5 types of causes. What we are trying to prove is, all 5 type of causes is Lord only. Here in the potter case, there are 2 different distinct causes are there. The mud itself is the Upatana Karna, and the potter is Nimitta Karna. But here, in terms of material creation, he is the Upadana Karna, he is the Nimitta Karna, he is the remote cause, he is the immediate cause. Everything, formal cause, everything is the Lord himself. That's what we're trying to explain. So now first we are looking at Upatana Karana. Upatana means the main ingredients on which the universe is made, right? Like a part is made of mud. So what is this material universe is made of? Of course, where it comes from, the jivas comes from the Lord, the main items, right? Then our karma, kala, who is giving this kala, who is impregnating this pradhan. Pradhan is just a matter, but who is impregnating with the kalas, bhava, and our jivas, tattva, is that this Lord Himself. And we, our living entities, we go back at the annihilation time, we will stay in the stomach of Mahavishnu. And so that comes out of his pore from his stomach, right? So this all ingredients comes out. This material world is created. That's because the Upadana Karna is the Lord. Now, when you see the world, you know that the Lord is created. That's a direct cause. What is indirect cause is that when you see the Lord, you don't see the entire universe is within Him. But it's like a mud, you don't see the part. Similarly, when you see the Lord, you don't see the universe. But when you see the universe, but you know it is created by the Lord. So there is a direct and indirect, because the destruction happens and enters into the body. That is Vitireka, or that is Anvaya. Means direct cause. We know that everything is destructed, finally enters into the body. But when the creation happens from Parmeshwara, that is indirect, because when you see the Lord, you don't see the universe. But when you see the universe, we know it is direct, or it is comes from the Lord. So when everything, all the destruction happens, from earth merges into water, water merges into the fire, fire merges into the air, air merges into the space, then it goes to the Lord, right? Then the jivas comes and the Mahatattva becomes Pradhan. Pradhan goes inside the stomach of the Lord. It takes longer time to again manifest again. So that is the Anvaya, means direct cause, we can know. When the creation happens, then you know that from Parmeshwara is manifest slowly, all these items, then it comes out. So this is direct and indirect causes. So basically what we are trying to say, this Upadana is the Lord Himself who creates this. Now coming to the Nimitta Karna, who is Nimitta? In this Acharyas explained in that shloka that Kala means time factor. So what happens is this Pradhana is unmanifested form, the Panchabhutas are there. I don't know, I have that slide. Yeah. You see in this 2.10.3 Sarga, in that ether, air, fire, water, earth, these are unmanifested form. These are Jada Vastu. This doesn't have on its own anything. But when the Lord sees the Kala factor, right? In the topmost, you can see this Kala. I don't know, I'll have pointers. This Kala factor is there, right? Kala Karmasvava. This Kala factor is what the Lord is glancing through. Unless that comes, this Pradhana. What happened? So this Kala is the main important factor to, this Pradhana becomes Mahatattva and activate the Jiva comes. But if you see that how the Kala is created, again by the Lord. Even Nimitta Karna is Lord one sense, because this Kala is agitating, of course, three modes of material nature. But who's created Kala? Again, the Lord is created. So he's indirectly the Nimitta Karana of this creation. So he is the material, the Upadana, because all the ingredients, everything comes from him. And the Kala who agitates and creates it, like a potter, she, Kala Shakti, creates these three modes of material nature agitated, and Jivas manifest through Brahma. Brahma creates them. So here it is again, if you see that this Kala time factor comes from the Lord. So he is the Nimitta Karana as well. So far, so good.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. So in this, then how do we understand about Shambhu? We say that the Lord glances the Prakriti, and then the Mahatattva is created, but that glance is given through Shambhu, right? So then in that case, isn't it that Shambhu is the Nimitta Karana? Means the Lord is obviously the Nimitta Karana.
Right.
How to understand Kala and Shambhu in this case?
Correct. So now the potter, when he made, he just had only the mud. Can he make the pot? What else he need?
Need a wheel.
Okay, apart from that.
Endeavors.
Okay, leave that endeavor. What is the material?
Water.
Water. Apart from that, there is a stick to rotate, right?
Yeah, stick, yeah.
So that is also nimitta karna, can we say? There could be many nimitta karnas. We are seeing the main nimitta karna, right? Of course, the wheel is required. Without wheel, can you say you can create a pot? So that's also nimitta efficient cause. There could be many like that. But who is the main important in this wheel? Potter or the stick? Water, which is main important? Important.
Everything is
Potter,
important.
right? Yeah,
Water.
everything is important. Of course, the potter is the key one, right? So similarly, yes, there could be many nimittas, karanas like Shiva, Shambhu, Brahma, Kala,
So then
right?
how to understand this, that what you were saying is the Lord is glancing to Kala, and then this
Yeah. So the Lord
is-
Vishnu doesn't touches this material. It's nothing to do with the material universe. So when he wants to perform something in this material world, he transforms himself into Sambhu. So when he glances through Ramadevi, his consort, the glances, Ramadevi's shadow is Shaya is Maya. So Maya means shadow of Ramadevi. Ramadevi and Mahavishnu, Karnadaksha Vishnu, they are consort. So when he wants to create, he wants to do this pastime, he doesn't directly touch Maya because she is the shadow of Ramadevi. So the similarly, Vishnu doesn't directly give that Jiva and Kala everything. He wants to impregnate Maya Devi, which is Durga Devi. Then Shambhu Shiva becomes the father. That's why we worship him in Linga Rupa. So you need a vessel or pot or garbha in which you have to mix these ingredients, or you have to not mixing, basically you have to the jiva has to come out. It will be unmanifested, but they are individual identities. They never merged. It's like chapati atta. You can make chapati atta a lot of ingredients, right? You can make parota, you can make roti, you can make pulka, so many things. So this prakriti, pradhan, which is unmanifested form, it is there. So the Vishnu glances through. He wants to impregnate this prakriti. Then what happens is he doesn't directly touch. He comes through a Shambhu. So Shambhu represents the linga, is the male reproduction organ in Parvati Devi you've seen in the worship of the linga form. So that represents the father and mother of this universe. The Lord, when Vishnu wants to create, he doesn't create directly. He doesn't give the living any day. So then they are held in the Prakriti. And Shiva, through Shambhu glands and Prakriti, it was many years, and this pradhana is manifest into Mahatattva. It takes many a time. Then this Mahatattva, portion of jivas will be there. In the Mahatattva, you have three modes of material nature, Kala, time factor, everything is generated. So portion of it, jivas, Garbhodaksha Vishnu takes and enters into individual planet. The individual planet, then it is manifested for some time. Then Brahma comes from this novel, and Brahma do the secondary creation, where through his Kashyapa and other children, he would say, create 84 lakh species of life and take this Jiva. He is supposed to get reptile body, give him reptile body. This is as a devotee. Previous life he did not complete, making him a devotee. That process is what Brahma does. So in order to create this material universe, that Jivas doesn't just not come out like that. It takes millions of years from Pradhana to Mahatattva, thousands of years, Garbha. Why it's called Garbha means uh, sum of jivas. They're in that form. So then it takes some time, along with Durga Devi, slowly manifest thousands of celestial years. Then the jivas try to come out. Then Brahma creates them every year. Then they go and die, and Brahma creates like that. So is it clear?
Yes, Prabhu. To some extent, good, little bit okay, but still, in this case, yes, the Lord glances the Prakriti through Shambhu, and then the Mahatattva is created. And the time factor is created, means it is there in
When
the.
the along with the glance, the time factor comes. So when he sees the Pradhana, Maya Devi, which is Prakriti, right? The Pradhana is nothing but Prakriti. Vishnu cannot directly see Maya Devi, which is Pradhan, Prakriti. So he through Sambhu form, he touches the material world. That's a milk becomes curd. So Sambhu, when he glances, technically glance means it's not just a glance. It consists of kala, karma of the jiva. That's where jiva's previous karma, whatever they done, destined to have. Then the svava means they're willing. What is that they desire, they want to manifest in this. That is in the combined form. It is not segregated, but that's all comes in the glance. Sambhu brings that to Pradhan. Pradhan is nothing but this force of material nature like earth, air, fire, water, the unmanifested form. So this all mixes. Then Pradhan, from Pradhan Maha, this all this Kala, Subhava, and mixes. Then the 24 elements of Mahatattva comes. Then Mahatattva, it depends on the modes of material nature, the senses, sense object, everything manifest, right? So that's how this creation happens.
Okay, thank you, Prabhu.
So now we have seen Nimitta, Karana, also a Kala, but again the Kala is given by the Lord. So it's again causes of all causes is Lord. So either it is a Nimitta, Upadana Karana or Nimitta Karana for creation, it is Lord Parameshwara. Now going to the third aspect of the cause, remote and immediate cause. What is remote and immediate cause? So when you travel on the bus, Mataji, how much time I have? Narayani Mataji.
Prabhu, it's 10:49. Maybe 10 more minutes, Prabhu. We can, sharp at 11, we can end.
So remote and immediate causes, if a driver is driving a bus, he meets with an accident. Probably either he did not sleep or did not notice, whatever it is, right? So the immediate cause is who? The driver. So everybody will scold him, hey, you didn't know how to drive and you are the person who caused it. You might break something, you might be the immediate cause. But what is the remote cause is he was destined to do that by the Lord because of his karma. There are a lot of factors why some suddenly tsunami happened. Means there's all collective karma. They have to suffer. If somebody is killing the cow in the nearby area, we are to also suffer because it's a collective karma. We are living in the place where this was done. So Prabhupada says that the entire war is happening. That's because of collective karma, where so many people you are killing animals. That's why this country will undergo a war. So that is a immediate cause is that you're killing Russia and Ukraine is fighting. That's immediate cause. The remote cause is that the Lord made it to happen without the sanction of the Lord. Even somebody wants to kill you, a thief is killing somebody. Do you think without Lord's sanction he can kill it using his free will? No. Even blade of grass will not move. So if somebody's been, I've been like robbed or I've been hit, is that without sanction of the Lord would have happened? No. So that's a remote cause. Lord is the remote cause. The immediate cause is maybe the driver has hit you. So he might be the immediate cause. But if you see that in this material world of creation, it's a remote and immediate cause, both are Lord because everything comes from Vishnu. Maybe we may, one extent we can say Brahma is creating everything. He might be immediate cause because he's our father. But if you see technically, everything right from Kala to Pradhan to everything comes from the Lord. And he, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu comes and he Shirodakshaya Vishnu enters into the Atma, into the every soul of the body. Then he activates the living entity. Is a remote and immediate cause. Everything is him only in that sense. So there is one more word Prabhupada uses called formal cause. Formal means ultimately who is responsible for all this. Then you keep on asking, oh, this come from this, then this come from this, with this Brahma, where he came from. So who created Brahma, Vishnu, where he came. Then finally you go formal cause is nothing but the Lord. Again, it goes to the Parameshwara. So the Parameshwara is the Upadana Karna, is the Nimitta Karna. Even though Kala is there, Kala is created by him. Then he is the remote cause, he is the immediate cause, and is the formal cause. So Adhisthana Karana is nothing but, so we were telling, right, from sound ether comes. No, actually from earth, uh, from water earth comes, from fire water comes, from air fire comes, then ether air comes. So it is the process. So if you say sound, it is there, all the five Panchabuddhas are there. From sound, the ether comes. From ether, air comes. From air, fire, water comes. So that is the Adhisthana means original residing place. So similarly, see in this example of creation, Shirodaksha Vishnu and Karanaksha Vishnu, so they glances, right? Mahavishnu glances to the Mahata Pradhan. So from Mahat, the Ahankara, based on the Ahankara, good mode of ignorance and passion ignorance are the Tanmatras comes. We see that everything is residing. Atisthana Karana means everything is residing. Like you say, ether is having everything. Air, fire, water, earth. Similarly, air is keeping fire, water, and earth. Similarly, in the water, earth is already included. So similarly, the Lord is Mahavishnu. From his stomach, everything comes out. So he is finally, when it annihilates, everything goes back into his stomach and we reside there. So everything comes from out of his stomach or we reside there. So he is also Adhisthana Karna. So you take any karna in this world, the material creation ultimately is Sarva Karana Karanam. Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadir Adir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. Sarva is not just telling here he is only the Upatana Karana. He is not telling he is a Nimitta Karana. He is not is the formal cause. He is not the remote cause. He is all causes of all causes. That's the conclusion Prabhupada is telling. So with this, you go and read this purport at home leisurely. Understand this part example what Prabhupada is talking. Then he talks about how part and parcel of jivas comes out. Prabhupada talks about a lot of scientific explanations here, very interesting. Then you read this purport, then you may be able to understand. If still you not understand, go and read sixth chapter, 14th, 6th chapter, basically Adi Leela, Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela, 6th chapter, and especially about 10 to 20 shlokas, you will understand this. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. And sorry that I've asked you to cover the previous day's shlokas as well. That is why it took so much long. Okay, so Hare Krishna. Now we do not have any time for question and answers. So we are just leaving it and ending the session here with your permission, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Vancha kalpitarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo
Vaishnavibhyo
Vaishnavibhyo
namo
namo
namaha.
namah.
Anantapuri Vaishnavi
Jai
ki jai,
Srila
Srila Prabhupada
Prabhupada
ki
ki
jai,
jai.
Antara Srimad
Jai.
Bhagavatam ki jai. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hari Bol, Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Prabhuji. Hare
Bless
Krishna
Krishna.
everyone.
Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you, Mataji.
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna,
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji.
Krishna.
Wonderful explanation.